All right, so the way we're gonna start this is you guys found like a wanted poster in town, wanting help and paying a decent bounty, and the town is called Simford, and you guys, you know, read the poster. You guys has information, and a person named Wycliffe was the one that put up the bounty. So you guys are pretty much going in this saloon and trying to find out what it is that you guys gonna do and how much to pay to see if it's even worth it. So the way we're gonna start it is Caroline and the bear. You guys are gonna be getting off a coach in front of this town, and you're gonna see this big sign that says "Welcome to Simford." And on top of the sign is these two guys. They got rifles, and they just look down at you guys, and he just has like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Caroline would like immediately just look up and just give like a half smile, and we're responding to the wanted poster. Don't suppose you can direct us to Wycliffe, a man named Wycliffe, can you? And as she's doing this, she's not even like looking up at them. She has this like almost like banjo type instrument in her hand, and she's like just kind of plucking it and tuning it a little bit and just fiddling around with it.
So he would be looking like right to the side, and he would point at the saloon, and then he would look at the bear, and he'd be like, "How about you, big guy?"
This individual that is known as the bear is this giant 6'6" muscular lumberjack of a human being, and in his skin. One could, somewhere along the line in his family, he might have mixed with orcish blood, given the size of this individual. He has a great black beard and long hair that's tied in a somewhat mishmashed ponytail over his back, and he kind of glazes out with these hard, steely eyes, and he's holding in his hand just this bottle of rum you've ever seen in your life, and he takes a big, long swig of it. She speaks for me. He saw where Wycliffe was, turns to Caroline and says, "Let's make time," and he starts to walk ahead.
All right, he would look at Caroline, and he'd be like, "All right, just make sure that you keep an eye out on him. We don't need any trouble here."
And she's just kind of look at him and like just give him a wink, and then follow the bear to the saloon.
Well, you guys have fun.
So as we walk in here, what do we see as we walk into the saloon?
You're talking about before you like open the doors, like the surrounding?
Yeah, like, well, just as we open the door, like just as I think the bear's probably first, just as he would like open the door and Caroline would follow after. Like, what does the saloon look like? Is it busy? Is it?
All right, so he opens the door, and you see this half-orc lady on your left side next to the bar with three girls, two humans, and a drow. And then you see the bartender. In the middle, there's four tables. One is empty. The one on the right, there's just three people hanging out. And the one to your left, there's four people playing poker. Is a lady and three guys. And then you see a human guy just, in the piano playing music. And then as you see this, you see in the other table is Wycliffe just sitting there waiting. And as you see that, the half-orc lady just approaches you. And she goes like, "Welcome, welcome. How can I help you?"
The bear just kind of looks at her and just goes, "The hardest thing you've got."
Gotcha. She looks at the bartender and she goes, snapping her fingers, and she's like, "You take care of him."
The bear kind of looks towards Caroline and, "You seem like the more charismatic one. Perhaps you should lead negotiations."
But you have such a charming smile. I think that they would love to hear from you. Don't you think?
The bear kind of chuckles and he says, "I certainly have my ways." And he does a very awkward smile, the kind of smile of a guy who spends most of his life with his mouth taut and grim, just a sort of like that. And he kind of pushes past the orc lady and just marches towards Wycliffe.
Now, you said I put out this wanted poster. What's the information on this thing? Who is this guy that I'm trying to get?
So you're like a newer member of the Silver Spurs, and there's been people in town gone missing. So they sent you out to find people to help you out, find them to see what's going on, and to eventually, if everything works out, maybe recruit them as part of the Silver Spurs.
Okay, so the wanted poster is not after somebody; it's more of a recruitment poster.
Yeah, something like that. Mainly just to help find out what's going on with the missing people in town.
From Silver Spring?
The town is called Sinford.
Sinford. Okay, sorry. You write that down. Now, I guess as they're approached by the half orc, Wycliffe will catch the bard's eye. He's dressed in a dust-covered leather coat, and you see his rifle leaned right up against the table where he's staring down a half-empty bottle of whiskey, making no notice of you guys at all.
So, go ahead.
Caroline would go up to him and just say, no matter how hard you look at it, unless you got some special powers, you're going to need to go get another one. Or better yet, let me get you one. And she would kind of motion for the bartender to come over and get him another of whatever he's drinking.
Wycliffe will look up, and the smile will protrude from under his heavy mustache that hangs down well below his chin. He's like, I don't know who you is, but I like you already.
We
love me. And the bear takes his bottle and just piss water, slams it down.
You were saying, Megan?
So she would just sit down in whatever the booth or wherever he's sitting in. So let's get right down to business. We saw your wanted poster or your recruitment poster. And let's say it colored us intrigued.
Wycliffe will fill his glass with the whiskey, stare at you, look at the bear, throw it down his throat. Intrigued. I don't know if intrigued would would be the right word. What we're looking for is some missing people. Now that involves going out in this here wilderness here, and that ain't for most folks.
We ain't most folks. Urge
Hey,
gravelly
I see
burp.
that. I kind of look up at you. Like, yeah, I see that. Well, job's yours if you want it. We're going to leave first light. Silver Spurs have already got everything taken care of as far as this here search party goes. So if you're serious, meet me on edge of town. You'll see the wagon. And with that, he'll go back to his bottle of whiskey.
So, as you're saying this to them, the Harrowfork lady, she walks up to you guys and she introduces herself. She's like, "My name is Roxy. Me and my husband are the owners of this place." And, she points at the guy playing in the piano. And then she slices you this silver coin. And then she goes like, "Whenever you're ready, somebody's waiting for you. Just give him this." And she points at the husband playing the piano.
All right, Dan.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, I mean, it didn't say explicitly on this poster, but may there be an opening in the Silver Spurs for two such intrepid, kind-hearted adventurers?
The bear kind of like
would undertake
slowly
this
leans, and looks over at Caroline as she describes us.
I'll fill the glass and slide it over towards her, and a sense of humor too. And I'll raise the bottle in a toast on that one, and throw some more back.
Yeah, she would do the same, hold it up and toss it back.
Since the bear is sort of lost on this joke, he just sort of, in a non-confident manner, just kind of slowly, just silently cheers and kind of like looks around, just over his head as he just slowly sips.
So, I'm sorry. The half orc said something for a room.
She gave you a silver coin to give to the her husband who's playing in the piano to get you into a secret room because somebody's waiting to talk to you guys.
All right. Well, since the introductions are all made, I'll stand up. All right, come on in, and walk over to the piano man and flip the coin at him.
So he would be like, "Thank you," and then he starts playing this weird tune, and all of a sudden, like right behind him where the curtains are a little open, and you just see this door open halfway, and you see like two dark shadows in there.
Secrets. This is getting quite interesting. And she would start off towards the door.
This is why I like the wilderness. What's fucked up? And he follows after.
Wycliffe will walk in.
So So you guys walk in, you see this human guy. He has like a dashing rogue face, and then right next to him is a half elf who he has like a leather vest, no shirt at all, like pants. He has like 2 tomahawks in his bag, and they're just looking at you. And he just goes, "Ladies, gentlemen, come in." And then he looks at Whitecliff, and he's like, "I'm very sorry to intrude, but he's one of your superiors." He's like, "But this might be a little more dangerous than we thought, so I gotta inform you guys of what's going on before we send you out in the wilderness."
Okay.
And Caroline would kind of look and she said, "Now, more dangerous, that means more of a prize at the end, right?"
Yes, very high price, actually.
All right. And she would kind of take out her, like, this little banjo thing again and just begin to pluck at it, kind of tuning it again.
Wycliffe will look to the man and say, "Well, I guess you better explain to him the added details here."
He goes like, "All right, if you guys would sit down." And then he would look at his partner. He would introduce him. His name is Clayton. And he goes like, "My friend right here, Clayton, he's going to help you guys track down the missing people. But what we ended up finding out is just in the outskirts of town, a little bit like in the entrance of the woods, we found a mangled body of one of the males who was taken. So we're not sure what we're dealing with, but whatever it is, it's pretty dangerous."
The bear kind of leans forward and says, "Can you describe what the mangled body looked like? Trying to get an idea of what kind of beast we're after."
Well, it was a man with a hole in his stomach and his guts hanging out.
Could I make a nature check to try to figure out what that might be?
Absolutely.
First roll of the night.
What was that?
That was a 16.
So pretty much if you saw it and you could, figure out what it was, it looked like it was mangled by a wolf. A big wolf.
And is this normal behavior? This isn't normal behavior for a wolf, right?
No, it's more like a coyote thing, but not wolves. Wolves usually like stay in the woods. They don't really come out, and if they do, they come out in packs. But they usually don't go after humans.
Yeah. Abnormal behavior, I'd say.
So what we're proposing is that if you guys take this job, we'll give you 250 gold right now, 2 at the end, and if you guys want, you can, join us as one of our members.
$300 gold. I like even numbers.
I'm gauging the reaction out of both of the two.
Caroline would say, "Yeah, numbers with no, like less than 2 zeros or less than 2 different numbers, it kind of confuses him."
Should we make it 6 then?
Is that higher?
Yes.
Mind that. Yeah. And I lean in confidently.
So is that a yes then?
Well, shit, I hope
600 for pest control. For pest control, can do that. Sorry.
What she said.
All right, so he would throw like 300 gold at each of you guys because he said, half now, half later, and then he would give each of you a pouch that has like about 12 silver bullets just in case you need it for whatever weapon you guys have. And then he tells you guys, whatever you guys do, be careful. We don't need anybody dying here. And my little friend here, he'll make sure to take care of you guys.
I look at the silver bullets in my hand, and I kind of look over my back where my big old double barrel is placed, and I just kind of go, and I pass it to Caroline.
Yeah, Caroline would just kind of pat her little revolver in her bag. All right. Let's do this.
So he's gonna say, all right, well, it's getting kind of dark, so I don't know if you guys want to head out early in the morning, but I'll make sure to have a room for you guys, and if you guys want to check out the town, you're more than welcome.
Don't bother for me. I like sleeping outside.
I look to the man talking, and I'll push myself off of the wall and tell him that, help, you know where to find me. And as for you two, I'll see you in the morning. And I walk back out to the bar, find my bottle of whiskey, and go find a dark corner to sit down in.
So as you're heading out, you start hearing commotion outside, and you see the people who are playing poker. The guy flips the table, and he's blaming somebody for cheating. All of a sudden, you start hearing shots going around, and as you hear this, you see two humans walk by, and when they look in the room, they see you guys, and they see the half health, and they just point their guns your guys' way. So what do you guys want to do?
I guess we roll initiative.
I don't know. Immediately, I think Caroline would be like, whoa. Hold on a minute.
Well, they're more shocked
We're
than, than ready to shoot. Like they, so if you guys want to say something before, the shooting started.
The bear turns to Caroline and just says, "Another more of your friends?" This is the second time this week, Caroline.
I told you the last time they mistook me for my cousin. We all look alike.
Whatever. And I take out my shotgun. I try to intimidate them.
All right, so what are you gonna tell them?
I just sort of take out my big shotgun and I just go, "You don't want to do this, pals." Just see if that works. Ooh, that's a 3.
Yeah. She would also look at both of them, Caroline, and just say, hey, come on, guys. We're in a bar. Let's all have some drinks. Why all the aggressiveness? It's too early in the night for pulling out your guns?
They would look at you and they would be like, well, if you give me that elf back there, we'd be more than happy to leave you guys alone. And they point at you, the tracker that's with you guys.
Oh, unfortunately, she is, she's kind of with us. So, maybe we should take this outside, then, if that's how it's gonna be.
One of the guys is gonna take a shot at the elf. So I guess this would be initiative time. Alrighty, that's the order right there. Pretty much those two guys are pointing guns at you guys. The guy's getting ready to shoot your tracker, and then there's all kinds of like chaos going in the background from everybody starting, fighting over the.
So, Caroline is just gonna calmly take out her her little banjo thing and just say, I said outside, and she's gonna strum it, casting Thunderwave at second level. So you have to make, the two of them have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty, one got a 5, the other one got a 16. You're muted.
So the guy who took the lower one takes 18 thunder damage and is pushed back 10 feet. The other guy takes 9.
Alright. So pretty much as this happens and your spell goes off and, the guy gets pushed back, Roxy just gets mad as hell and she asks the bartender for her hammer and she starts walking toward you guys and to the guy in the ground. And she goes like, get the hell out of my saloon right now. And everybody like stops in their tracks. They're really scared because you got this massive half-orc woman with a big hammer. And they started leaving. The two guys are still on the ground. So she grabs one of the guys and she pretty much tosses him out. She goes back to you and she goes like, if you would, dear. And she points out, the exit.
In my defense, I tried, but thank you. And she would kind of walk by. She would like scoop up the glass of whiskey that she had there, or like any alcohol that she could on the way out of like people who had left it, drinking it as she leaves, and she just head out.
All right, so yeah, one of the guys she tossed out The other guy's still on the ground. He's trying to get up right now.
All right, so I walk over to this guy and I just sort of help him up, and I just say, "Well, you heard the nice lady," and I back up and I just start doing a running dash, and I want to just spear this guy right through the doors outside and onto the street.
Can you give me an athletic check?
Oh, yes, I can. That will be 1.
What was that?
A 21.
Oh yeah, you pretty much like hit him, tackle him through the doors. You broke one of the doors, and he just falls on the ground. He's like winded, and his buddy sees this, and he just starts running off. And this guy's pretty much like he can't breathe. He probably got broken ribs. So, what do you guys do now?
As a bonus action, I'd just like to elbow him in the face as an offhand attack.
Go for it.
Yeah, I just want to knock this guy out. Natural 20.
Yeah, you definitely knocked him out. He's just there, like gun to the side, just laying down. And Roxy's just watching everything, just being pissed off about you breaking her door.
Yeah, and as the other guy like runs towards to get his friend, I just kind of look up at the guy as I'm like on top of his friend, just like giving him a look like, "You really want to do this?" And that's my turn.
Yeah, the other guy's just gonna look at you guys and he's gonna be like, I'm sorry, please don't hurt me." And he would drop his gun and be like, can I just leave?
When he drops his gun, I'm going to approach him and attempt to grapple him so that we can tie his hands up for questioning. I mean, why we got to find out why he's popping off shots as our guides here.
Gotcha. I guess. Wait, you were gonna knock him out, or you just were gonna tie him up?
Oh, I'm just tying him up. He dropped his weapon. He's submissive, so I'm
yeah, he's just there. So yeah, he lets you do it.
Okay. With him apprehended, the elf and who else was in the room? The man, the elf.
And you're talking about when the chaos went on, or the room you guys were in?
The room we were in.
It was just your captain and then the half elf.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the man over to the captain for questioning. I'm sure he can handle it better than we can. We've got something we need to take care of anyway.
He would grab the guy and just toss him into a chair, and he'd be like, "Thank you," and then he would send the tracker to go with you guys. So if you guys are wondering, the tracker who's coming with you guys, his name is Clayton, and he's a half-elf monk. So you guys want to get any supplies, or do you guys, whatever you guys want to do before you head out in the morning?
It's like I told them at the table. I have, I suppose, a wagon supplied by the Silver Spurs with everything I felt at the time that we would need. So I guess I'm going to be sleeping either on or next to the cart tonight.
The bear sort of like goes out into the wilderness when it goes dark. Just does a couple rounds, practices his own private rituals, an incense, a prayer to his ancestors, and that is all he does for the night.
Caroline is gonna hunker down. I'm guessing she's gonna ask, ask Wycliffe. Well, since those lovely fellows probably prevented us from being able to spend the night there, do you feel all right with maybe sharing your wagon?
Wycliffe would respond with, I don't see no reason not to. 6 eyes is better than 2, so pull up some dirt, pop a squat.
Her smile, fantastic. And she would like go down to her instrument to be like, those idiots. I gotta retune again. So she would just continue to slowly pluck and tune and pluck and tune. And then once that's done, she'd hunker down for the night.
All right, so, you guys are sleeping. Everybody's outside. You two are in the wagon. The tracker, he went to a house nearby. Maybe he owns it, or, part of the Spurs. He's in the second level, sleeping near the window, so that way he can keep an eye out and, in case he hears anything. Anyway, so the night goes by. You guys didn't hear any disturbances. And you guys wake up through the sunlight coming through the wagon.
You guys would be loudly woken up by the sound of what you can only assume is flesh. The wood of the wagon, as you kind of wake up and see the bear seemingly just wide awake, happy as ever, with like 2 dead rabbits just slumped onto the wagon. And he just said, "Found breakfast."
Wycliffe would be tending to the fire this early in the morning with a pot of coffee on. We'll see the bear throw the rabbits in. Say, well, when did you sneak out?
I'm very quiet.
Man your size, that's sort of surprising. No, I just kind of nod in acknowledgement.
You learn a lot when you spend most of your time and he points towards the town, freeing in a spiritual sort of way. And then he just sort of kind of like looks off into the distance.
As you're talking, I reach out with a tin cup of coffee from the fire. I'll turn over. Is Caroline still asleep, or is she up and about now?
I think that Caroline at this would just come out, like just as the bear was talking about being quiet, and she would say, "And he knows that if he woke me up from my beauty sleep, I'd string him from his toes." And she kind of like just like slaps him on the shoulder.
The bear chuckles and kind of pulls his sleeve up and shows like a sort of like a scar along his arm, and he just says, "Lesson learned." And he kind of looks at Wycliffe just like, laws.
And we'll continue to make small talk, waiting on the scout to find his way over to the wagon. We're not hard to find, just straight down the one avenue in this one horse town.
Yeah, so you guys are waiting. You see Clayton approach you guys, and he got 4 horses, like 2 in one hand, 2 in the other. And he comes up to you guys, and he's like, Whitecliff, I'm sorry, but we can't take your wagon. We have to be a little more stealthier about this.
Stealth is when you get close. We don't know how long we're going to be.
Oh, we're gonna get close, all right.
Well, shit. I do.
Don't worry, pal. I'll show you the ropes. You just feel like a large smack pat on your back.
I'll hide fairly convincingly, trying to catch my breath after that.
So yeah, Clayton would like look at you guys and pretty much give you guys each a horse. And then he would be like, we got a long day ahead of us, so I hope you guys are ready.
The bear kind of like in a very childish way makes sure that he just sort of pushes past the two of his compatriots so he can get the biggest horse. It's a very childish display.
Yeah, I'm unhitching the horse ahead to the cart and throwing on the saddle and getting everything ready for a ride, I guess.
Yeah, same with Caroline. She's just kind of getting, just like the closest horse, just kind of getting to know it a little bit, until she finally saddles up on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Clayton gets on top of the last horse. And he looks at the bear and he like shake his head because that's his horse. It's his black stallion, but he's just like, whatever, let's just go. And he starts slowly pacing forward so that way you guys can follow.
All right, let's do this stealthily. Yeah! And he very loudly just rears the stallion back with a large cheer and just gallops forward.
Very Napoleonic of you.
Yeah, Clayton looks at you and he goes like, if you hurt my horse, we're gonna have a problem. Alright, so pretty much oh, go ahead.
We're following the elf.
Alright, so pretty much you guys leave town, and as of right now, you see it's like boulders and trees are pretty much dead. And you go about like, we say like maybe 10, 15 miles, and then you see this big long bridge, but the bridge looks like it's kind of messed up. So, and the only other way is to go downhill through. And so he goes like, this bridge is pretty messed up, but that's a better chance than climbing down. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, it sounds like a better way than having to climb. So let's head across.
Yep.
He would take lead, and he would like take a rope and tie it in his waist and like throw it back at you guys. Anyways, he would start making his way like halfway through. I imagine you guys are, going along with him, right?
Yes.
All right, so the wind starts picking up, and all of a sudden it's just getting really wobbly, and you see that some of the wood, has holes in it, and it's kind of creaking. And then all of a sudden, one of his feet just goes through the piece of wood. So he's just trying to hang on in there.
Can I make a dex check to see if I can catch him before he slips down too far?
Yes.
So, that's going to be a 19.
Yeah, you definitely catch his arm and you help him get his foot out of there. And he's like, "Oh crap, we gotta be careful." And if you guys don't mind giving me a quick dex check, because the bridge is starting to go like back and forward all of a sudden because of the strong wind.
Yeah, that one's not so great. That's 7 for me. Okay.
And just waiting for everybody else to make a dex check.
I got a 21.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
All right, so pretty much this bridge is just swinging back and forward, and Wycliffe kind of like stumbles back, and he falls on the bear, and then the bear just falls down, and then you guys drag Clayton like right behind you guys, and you guys are pretty much trying to hold on so you guys don't fall off the side of this bridge.
So are we like hanging by our arms down the side of this thing, or are we just on our back on the bridge as it's swinging?
You guys are on your back as it's swinging, so you pretty much are trying to hold on to the rope so that way you guys don't fall. While Caroline is just looking at you guys laughing.
Why she gotta be laughing?
That's what I would
Because
do.
it's fun.
Caroline's like, wee.
I'm gonna try to grab both sides and just like even with Wycliffe like on top of me, I'm just gonna try to pull myself up.
The bear will strength check his way out of this.
With that, yeah, it solves everything. Um, I got a 16.
Nice. You get back up, and you pretty much, as you get up, you bring Wycliffe with you because you're so huge. So you just like one hand grab him up, and then you guys start making your way out of the bridge now.
Provided we
Dust myself off.
yeah, provided the wind doesn't try to knock us back down, and we don't have to do any more checks. I guess we'll make it across to the other side. What are we seeing on the other side? All right.
So right now, you guys see it's still a little bit like pretty much dead ground. Like it looks kind of like deserty, but it's all just dirt, boulders. But a little more, like I say, 5 miles away, you see the beginning of the woods, and it's just huge. And then Clayton look at you guys, and he goes like, "We're almost there," and he starts, like leading the way.
So I mean, we did bring our horses across this, right? Or
Yeah, the horses were tied up right behind you guys. They were fine.
okay. So we're riding towards the forest.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
And so you guys are going. You're getting close to the forest, and then all of a sudden, like you start hearing some noise. You guys want to make a perception check?
Trusty at 20 here. It's 14 for me.
Nice. So you guys pretty much hear all this like stomping on the ground, and then Clayton grab you guys, and he's like, "Come follow me," and you guys hide behind a boulder, and you see this big like caravan full of dark elves, and behind them there's all these like humans, and you see like 2 or 3 dwarves, 5 elves, and they're all, you can tell they're slaves. And then you see this big elephant, and above the elephant all this like darkness, like like they cast darkness surrounding the elephant so that way like the light doesn't hurt him. And he's Clayton's going like, shh.
How many elves
Some
are
of you
there?
guys.
Go ahead. What were you gonna
You
say?
asked how many.
Yeah, I was
Asked how
asking,
many elves.
yeah, I was asking how many drow are with this caravan.
That you can see so far is probably like 12 of them.
Okay, and 4 of us.
Yep, and however many are on top of the elephant, which you can see because it's like surrounded by darkness.
Some of you guys would notice just like a very noticeable, just seething anger coming from the bear. As Caroline, you would know from hanging out with him a lot, he is very anti-slavery, very pro-freedom, and he despises these practices. And so it's kind of like a bit of having to hold him down to like keeping him from blowing your cover.
Yeah, I think Wycliffe will notice the tension and the muscles half jumping of the bear trying to jump into action, and I just kind of like as I'm looking at the caravan going down the trail, I'm just no.
Yeah, I think Caroline would probably sense that that's how the bear was going to react, and exactly, she would grab him by the shoulder, none too gently, just like you can feel her like digging into like pressure points, just to try and get him to like snap out of it and to focus. And if he looks at her, she would just like shake her head.
Yeah, Clayton would like put his hand on his shoulder, on the bear's shoulder, and he would be like, "Calm down, my friend. There's other time for that. But right now, if we do anything, we're gonna die. And being the hero is not gonna help us out. It's just gonna get us killed."
Very well. I'll stay quiet. Then he just sort of just retreats into himself. And just starts like, he takes out one of his axes and just starts like carving a spear point on a stick. Just to let out the aggression.
So as finally the drow are getting far enough where you guys don't think you're gonna be noticed. It's starting to get a little bit dark. So do you guys want to set camp, or do you guys want to go through the woods?
With drow caravans passing through and already have human slaves, I would be very uncomfortable about setting a camp out in the open. At least get behind the cover of trees.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so he pointed at you guys to like follow him, and you guys start going through the woods. You just see like trees everywhere. It's a little hard to see, but you guys get deep enough where you can like make a camp without like being noticed or anything sneaking up on you guys.
All right, so we'll I guess that would count as a short rest.
I would say. Do you guys want to make a fire or no?
I would advise against it.
Okay. We're in enemy
Mhm.
territory.
All right, so you guys pretty much like the half elf. He gets up the tree and he's like sleeping on one of the logs, and I'm not sure what you guys are doing, but pretty much halfway through the night, you guys start hearing like creaks, like somebody stepping on like branches. What do you guys want to do?
I would grab my rifle and I guess make a stealth check. Try to hide in the shadows of the trees and see what's coming.
Okay, so I would say you have advantage on that since they seem to like be far away.
Okay.
I would like to
that's-
grab.
Go ahead.
I would like to grab my battle axes and quickly jump into some trees so I can get the drop on these guys. Also making a stealth check.
I think Caroline would take out excuse me, take out her pistol and just kind of, or not her pistol, her dagger, and just kind of crouch away from the opening.
Good. Dang. So as you guys are hidden, you see two drow with spears just like walking by. They notice your guys' camp. Of course, they can see through the dark, so they're looking down, and then as they look up, they notice Clayton up there, and one of them goes to ready a spear to chuck it up there.
Can
Caroline would like to oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Caroline would like to jump out of the bushes and attempt to slit the closest one's throat, if she can.
All right. I guess roll for damage, and I guess consider it as a crit.
Okay.
As she's doing that, can I take aim at the other one and also do maybe a surprise round attack with my rifle?
Yes, you can.
So, sorry, just a quick question. How do you do crits?
You gotta ask them because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, well, it is up to you. You can either do max damage and then you roll on top of that, or you just roll and then double it. So it's up to you.
I would say the first one, max damage plus,
Plus the roll? Okay. So that'll be 12 slash piercing damage.
Is that after adding everything up?
Yep, that's with the crit, yep.
All right, so pretty much you like slit his throat and he's just holding on, he's bleeding, but he still seems to be like he's injured, but he's not, dead yet. And the other guy turns around and looks at you.
Yeah, she would try to cover his mouth as she's slitting his throat just to save him from just to make sure he doesn't call out.
I gotcha. So okay, so the other guy didn't notice you, but he is looking up and he's getting ready to attack also. If you want to go ahead, Whitecliff. And what do you want to do, the bear?
Yeah, I would. Right as he turns around and sees her, I pop off a shot, and I rolled 8 on the dice, so that would. It's Dex for a firearm, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it's 11 there. You don't add proficiency to damage, right? No, of course not. Okay, so that's 11 damage to the guy still standing.
All right, so you shoot him. He kind of he takes the shot. He hit him. I would say hit him like in the collarbone or something. So he drops his weapon. Now it's the bear's turn.
As he just gets this shot off and sort of drops his weapon, I use that surprise to just dive towards this dude, and I just want to pin him to the ground and just put my axe right to his throat and just interrogate his ass. Athletics.
Yes, sir.
Plus 25.
Yeah, so you definitely get him in the ground. Do you guys want to roll initiative? Because the other guy's still alive, and this dude, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to fight you in a little bit, see if he can get you off of him.
Could I, as my bonus action, throw my other axe into the other guy?
Yes, you can. Roll for attack.
All right. 16 to hit.
That hits.
All right. He will take 12 damage.
Gotcha. So pretty much like he falls in the ground. He's still holding out his throat because he's pretty much bleeding out. And now it's Megan's turn.
Yeah, she has her hand over his mouth, so she's just gonna like just stab him in the chest and repeatedly until he dies.
Okay, well, pretty much you're stabbing this dude in the back, and to the point that his body goes limp. He's just laying there now, and the other guy's just looking at him, and he's just terrified.
That's the one Bear's on top of. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, right now he's just laying there waiting for what you guys are gonna do, and it's your turn, Whitecliff.
The bear just sort of like sees Caroline just shank that dude to death. And he's like, and the bear just kind of leans in. Want to end up like him? And he just sort of like, and if the drow like just shakes his head, he'll just be like, then you're gonna answer some questions.
Well, he actually looks back at you and he goes like, "If you don't kill me, my people are gonna kill me for failing."
We can do a lot worse than kill you, pal.
He pretty much looks at you like dead on, but he's not saying anything.
My charms aren't working on him. Can you guys do anything? Even as I'm just sticking like this axe like right next to his neck.
She would kind of walk over and just let me talk to him for a minute. I'm sure I can maybe change his mind.
Wycliffe will be staring out into the trees, scanning desperately to see if even a shadow moves. And be like, I'd hurry up. I don't know how many more of them are out there, but I'm sure they heard that shot.
And she would nod. She would be like, it'll only take a minute. And she would she would look at this drow right in the eye, and if the drow was looking at her, he would see her eyes begin to glow in the dark, and she would just say, like, my friend here is right. There are a lot things worse than just dying. And trust me, we've had difficult people like you. But we've always managed to, find out what we want. And so it's late. I'm tired. Everyone here is tired. Why don't you just save us all of this work? All of this extra effort, all of this mess. By just telling us what we want to know. And with this, I am kind of casting words of terror. He has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or be frightened of us.
Well, he got a 4, so he's definitely frightened.
And so she just kind of smiles a little bit at him and say, I know you're going to do the right thing.
He's pretty much looking at you, like, shaking, kind of, like, freaking out, and he goes, like, whatever you want, I'll tell you, just leave me alone.
And so she would kind of look up at the other two and say, okay, what do we want to know?
Where's the rest of your gang, and how far are they from us?
He would look at the bear, and he would be like, they're in the town that they ransacked a few days ago, which is like 10, 15 miles away. And our scout saw the footprints, so that's why we got sent over here. So if one of us doesn't show back, I'm pretty sure they're going to send out more.
By that time, we'll be gone. Let's end it and move.
She would nod and then look to the bear, see if he has anything else to ask. If he didn't, then she would just plunge a dagger into his chest.
And he just says, there's going to be a special place in hell for slaver scum like you. And then he helps shove it in.
Alright, so how exactly are you going to kill this guy?
She would just kind of like cover his mouth and just stab him just directly in the chest, like in the heart, in that area. And she would just kind of whisper to him and just said, see, that wasn't so hard.
See doing this, he's just like clutching to his chest, he's like, and then you just see his eyes pretty much just glaze over.
Well, you all know what to do now. And I just start looting bodies.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm checking the other body.
Alright, so in one of them you find a purse with, I say about like 60 gold, and then you find a revolver. It has it has 6 bullets on it, and that's you, Wycliffe. The bear, you find a double-barrel shotgun on the other guy, and it just has the bullets that he has inside of it, and then he has, I would say, like 120 gold.
I will take the bullets, the shells, and the gold. 120, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right. And once we're done with the bodies, rope and tie it off to both of their legs and just hang them so that their weight is balancing each other on a tree branch, just for their friends to find.
I think as you're doing this, Clayton's just looking at you, and he's just like clapping, like, good job, good job.
You're lucky it's not. And she would like walk up to him. She's like kind of mad. She's like, you're lucky it's not you strung up in that tree. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have saw us, and we wouldn't have to have done that. Watch yourself next time.
He would look at you.
And she would just walk off.
And he would nod and nod at you, and then he would be like, well, what were the chances they were going to look up?
Yeah, Wycliffe is feeling the same type of disgust, especially from a member of the Silver Spurs. That was just completely reckless. And I keep a little bit of a distance from him the rest of this night. After I looted the body, I'm gathering our stuff up and looking around. We got to move. We got to move now. Let's get going.
All right. He has dark vision, so is any of you guys, non-human, or are you both human?
I'm human.
Yeah, I'm human.
I'm human as
Okay,
well.
so he would just like tell you guys to try to keep close because it's still like a bit dark, but he just starts slowly walking forward.
We would, I guess we would follow him at a little bit of a distance. Yeah, I guess we're going to keep on moving throughout the night.
Gotcha. As this is happening, you guys see, let's say the light's starting to come through, starting to get earlier, and you guys see in front of you like a massive giant ruins that look like elven ruins. And he stops right in front of you guys, and you see him in the ground, like he's checking the ground, and when he wipe it, you see blood, and he asks you guys to come near. He says there's something wrong.
Can I examine the blood?
Yes, yeah.
Would this be investigation, survival?
I would say investigation.
That is a 16.
All right, so pretty much you see this massive ruins in front of you. It kind of looks like, in the Victorian days, they have those giant mansions that they have the really fancy like garden with the statues and the fancy what would you call it, little bushes and stuff. And you just see like a trail of blood leading to your left, going up the stairs to this small room, and he would just point that way.
So we came up on a house in the woods?
No, it's not a house. It's Elven ruins. Pretty
Oh.
much like broken down. Like you see small patio areas with like tables and little like maze passageways and stuff.
Oh, okay. And the blood leads into a room?
Yes, to your left, there's like a small passage, and then there's a small, little stairs that go like kind of like up and then to the side, and you see like a broken down little room.
Okay. I would approach the room slowly and cautiously with my my rifle at the ready.
All right, so Clayton goes up to with you, and he takes his tomahawks out. He's slowly like going in there, and pretty much you notice that there's a table, but there's also blood and bones in there. Do you want to do a perception check for me?
23.
Yeah, it's a 17 for me.
All right, so you guys notice that this table kind of looks like a table where they would do rituals, like sacrifices, and you pretty much see like from the half up is the skeleton, but it has blood on it, and then from the waist down, you see like there's still flesh from one of the knees down, and then the other leg still kind of like has the leg, but it looks like it's been bitten into, like somebody pretty much ate this dude.
I run to the body and examine where the bites have been left, and I try to examine the bite marks themselves to see if I can get a read on what kind of creature we're facing is. For that,
You want to do a nature check?
would I be happy to? That is a 19.
So to you, it just looks like a normal person bit into it. Like you see teeth marks, like straight teeth, and yeah. And the blood, well, the body, if you like take a whiff at it, it smells like it's maybe half a day old.
I reckon whatever did this is still here.
Yeah, Clayton will look at you guys and he will be like, keep your eyes open. There's definitely something foul going here. And one thing that you notice is in the rib cage, the heart is in there, but it's like it's shriveled up, but it looked like half of it was eating.
Wycliffe is trying to choke back a little bit of sickness of seeing all this.
All right, on that note, you guys mind if we take like a quick 5 to 10 minute break?
For sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, enjoying more D&D.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah,
I'm spooked.
It's been a few weeks since I've been able to play, so this is good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully everything will pick back up back in January. Things are kind of hectic.
Oh yeah, for me too. I mean, we had a busy holiday around Thanksgiving with my company, so we were just slammed, and I didn't have time to think about much of anything.
Yeah, you guys are
You'd
weird.
think the holiday season would be for gaming, but it's not.
No.
Nope. You guys are weird. You have like Thanksgiving, and then like right away it's like Christmas. It's like you guys hardly get a chance to breathe.
Around here, they start Christmas before Halloween even happens. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work at Walmart and it's been horrible. Like they call me in to work all the time, and yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah, this is it's weird for me because I'm in college right now. So like I go for the Thanksgiving break, come back, and it's just 2 weeks of like there's really no classes because everyone's doing finals. Everyone's just sort of in this weird limbo state right before they just get back on a plane anyway and go to wherever they're going for winter break.
Oh yeah, that would be like because I'm in Canada, so we have Thanksgiving in October. But yeah, for like college, that would be so weird. Ugh.
Yeah, if you don't like traveling, it sucks.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, this is my first game, so I'll try to do the best I can.
Oh no, dude, you're doing great.
Fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm having a blast.
Nice little.
I love par for the course. Going against par for the course, generic D&D, settings. So I love this Western-y feel.
Yeah, got a nice little spooky atmosphere going on. It's good stuff, man.
Pretty much what I got the idea from was like right when I joined the ATAP, everybody was playing Gloom and everybody was playing Harbinger, and I was like, man, that sounds pretty badass. And I was like, I want to make something, but I was like, I don't want to copy the same thing, So I was like, oh, I can make a Western game and see if people, are into that. So.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, I dig it.
But you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so pretty much he starts in the room you guys are in. There's another path behind it that has a stair going down. You guys want to go that way, or do you guys want to go back to where you came from?
There's stairs in the room going down.
It's pretty much like the same way you came in, but it's just from the other side. So we just send you to like a different area of the patio/garden area.
Yeah, I definitely want to take a look at that. I would sneak to the doorway or slowly approach the doorway and kind of like peek my way around the side and see if I see anything, any movement or evidence of anything.
Gotcha. As you look, all you see is pretty much like a big garden area with like two statues. One of them is like missing the head, and it looks pretty much like an elf with their hands up. So you can tell that these are, elven ruins. The only thing they look like they've been desecrated, like everything's messed up and vines are growing everywhere. So you can tell nobody's really, kept the place or lived here for like a long time.
Wycliffe would spit on the elf statue.
I think as you do that, Clayton would look at you and he would shake his head because he understands where you're coming from, but at the same time, he's half elf, so
Not a fan of the knife ears, pal.
Don't trust them. Never have.
So pretty much you guys are in this garden area with the statues and stuff. And in front of you, you see like a long, like path area. And then there's another one to your left side.
Is there any evidence of tracks or movement one direction or the other?
Well, Clayton's looking in the other side, but if you wanna make a nature check to see if somebody went through the other passage, you can do that.
Nature?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's 19. No proficiency. Yeah,
Right,
straight
so
19.
So you see that there's pretty much tracks like everywhere. But the only weird thing is you see kind of human footprints, but the thing is they look huge, like a size 14 to 15 foot. And you also see big wolf paws. And Clayton tells you the same thing on the other side. So there's been a lot of movement lately.
Are the wolf paws like beside the human, or does it go like from human to wolf paws?
You can't really tell because there's so many, so it looks like pretty much one footprint on top of the other.
Okay.
So right now it's pretty much which way you guys want to go. Do you go forward or do you go to your left?
Caroline, I think, would look to the rest of the other two and say, "Well, I'm not much of a decision-making person when it comes to this kind of stuff. Point me in the right direction, and that's where we'll go."
I would
The wild, go forward.
oh, pardon me there. Sorry. Yeah, I would start to move forward, nodding my head in this direction. And,
All right.
look to my compatriots and tell them to have their weapons ready and be ready for trouble.
All right. So Clayton just looks at you guys and he nods and he takes out his tomahawks and he's slowly going down the hallway. This hallway looks very long, and you don't see the end of it at the moment.
As we're sort of walking down, I just sort of turn to my compatriots and I say, sorry for my behavior at the camp. I was born in chains. I don't take well to slavers. Icing us.
I think Caroline at this, she would just kind of nod. This is nothing probably new for her. But she would look, I think, curiously over to the half-elf and Wycliffe just to see their reaction.
Well, Clayton would look back at you guys, and his hair like covers pretty much the side of his face, so it's covering his ears. So when he pulls it up, you see the top of his ears are like cut, like showing you that he used to be a slave. And he goes like, "I hate the drought, probably more than you guys can even imagine."
Wycliffe would act as if he heard something and just be like, and get down a little lower and move forward.
If Clayton is ever like looking out of the corner of his eye, he would see just sort of like the bear just sort of gaze at him with a newfound respect and almost just a kinship of, we've both been through a similar trauma, and he just sort of smiles slightly in a vulnerable way that no one has ever really seen the bear do except maybe Caroline. Quickly get back to his senses and move forward.
Yeah, he would not let you go, and he understands you. So you guys want to keep going forward, right?
For sure.
Who's walking in front?
I suppose I would at this point.
All right. So
with my double barrel.
so as you're going forward, pretty much Clayton like holds you for a second and pushes you back, and he takes out one of his tomahawks and throws it. And when he throws it, you see like pretty much a piece of rope, and it cuts right through it, and you see this trap. It looks like a piece of wood with like on the side it's been fouled where it has like a bunch of pointy stuff, pointy sides, and it just comes in and it hits the other side of the wall, pretty much like breaking, well, not breaking it, but getting stuck in it. And he goes like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We don't need anybody dying right now, so keep your eyes open."
So what what are we looking at past this?
Well, it's still like a long hallway, but you can start seeing the end of it. But he just sprung a trap, so you might want to keep an eye open.
Yeah, I think after that, Caroline would just probably be extra cautious. Maybe just trying to look at the walls and try to see if she can see anything. And
Does that mean you're investigating them?
Yes.
yeah, I think she would.
All right, you guys want to roll me a check real quick?
Well, I don't see nothing.
Yeah, so as Whitecliff is just looking around, not really seeing anything, the bear noticed that about 3 or 4 foot ahead of you guys on the floor, there's like a piece of stone that looks like is pretty much a little higher than the rest.
Dramatically, as Wycliffe is just sort of looking around, just right about to step on it, the hand just grabs his shirt and just roughly just jerks him back. He'll like look at me and I'll just be like silently towards the raised stone.
So I imagine do you guys want to walk around it, or do you want to try to hit it with a stick or something?
Let's not poke the trap.
Whatever is here to chase us, and it can fall on it.
Gotcha. So pretty much you guys go around this trap, and then slowly you guys are pretty much like at the end of the hall now. And can you guys give me a little perception check real quick? So Whitecliff and Caroline, all you guys see is some really tall, slanky figures. All you see is like a figure that is like 7 feet tall, really skinny from behind, and you see that figure holding something, and the rest of them are kind of like underneath. And the bear, you notice, pretty much is a 7 foot tall figure, but they have like wood and leaf armor, and they have all these tribal tattoos. and you hear the guy chanting something.
Stop everyone, and I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just motion to listen, take in what's happening. Get down.
So as this happens, actually, go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, I think Caroline would know enough from being with the bear that once he says something like that, and she would immediately just like duck down, probably behind him.
Gotcha. So you guys are pretty much close enough where you see what's going on, and you see there's 8 elves, but these elves look really weird compared to the ones you've seen before. They're really tall. They're muscular, but like not like big muscular, like really slender. And you see that one of them is in the middle of this big stone table while the other ones are surrounding him. There's about 4 females, the rest are all males, and the one in the middle, he finished chanting and he takes a bite out of this heart. And all of them pretty much have like, pretty much around them, all you see is like a few bones and like blood everywhere. So you kind of figure that these are these elves are the ones that, ate the people. But they just look extremely weird. And I'll show you what the main guy looks like. He would look like this, but his right eye, he has like a paw mark, like pretty much like something scratched his face, is missing an eye. And this guy turns around and he goes like, well, it was about time somebody showed up. I thought we were gonna have all the fun.
I slowly turn to Clayton. I go, do you know what the hell these things are?
He would look back at you and he's like, he looks like an elf, but I never seen anything like this before.
Sure you aren't related to him?
Not that I know of. And pretty much as this happened, the main guy, you can tell he's the leader. He starts saying, well, it's time for us to have fun. And all of a sudden he starts howling. And as he howls, everybody starts transforming into werewolves. And these guys were like 7 feet tall. Now you see all the werewolves are about 9 feet tall, except for 2 of them. As he's transforming, he's like, "Don't run away now!" And he's just turning. Like you see his flesh start ripping apart, like it starts falling off. He's about 12 feet tall, and then another one of them is about 10 feet tall, and they're all looking at you like snarling. You see these big, really teeth.
Are we still in the hallway, or are we?
No, you guys are, because you guys stopped like right after you got out of the hallway, so you guys are probably like 5 or 6 feet away from them.
I yell at everybody, back in the tunnel, back in the tunnel. And all of our ammunition is silver from the Silver Spurs, yes?
If I remember correctly, he gave you guys like a pouch with like 12 bullets. The rest would be normal ammunition.
Okay. The bullets aren't going to do the shotgun any good.
Well, he gave you whatever gun you had. So if you had a shotgun, he gave you shotgun shells. If you had a pistol, he gave you,
Okay. Yeah, I would I would advise everybody to retreat back into the hallway, try to narrow the approach that they could take at us, and yelling at everybody just to fire at everything that moves coming into this tunnel.
The last one out. Help see you guys off.
So he sees you guys running back, and he just points and he goes, "Get him!" And you see 3 of the werewolves. One of them is like about 10 feet tall. The other 2 are like 8, and they just start rushing towards you guys. Like one of them goes through the same hallway you guys are going, and the other 2 seem to go different ways. And then the main guy that you saw, the alpha, him and the rest of them just take off.
Do I see any of them that I can pop a shot off at?
Well, you see the one who's going through the hall, and he's going straight for you guys.
Okay. I'm going to raise my rifle and fire at him. That would be 18 to attack.
That hits.
That's 13 on the die. So 13, 16 altogether.
Were you using a silver bullet or no?
No, I have not loaded those in.
Whenever you guys use that, just add like 5 damage to it. And if you crit, you can add all to the, the crit damage too.
Okay.
What was the damage again?
16 total.
All right. Do you guys wanna? Well, can you guys roll initiative now? All right. So, Whitecliff is your turn.
Okay. What is here? All right. So I want to use my action surge to make 2 attacks on my repeating rifle. I don't want to squeeze off 2 rounds at him as he's running our way.
Gotcha.
So, that's not going to hit either one. That's that's a 9 and an 8.
Gotcha. So pretty much you shoot him, and he's just coming along like this, and it pretty much hits his hide, but pretty much he has strong hide, tough hide, so it kind of like bounces off from ricochet.
That's terrifying.
That's the whole purpose. All right, Caroline.
So how many of them are coming out of this? How many of them are there?
Well, total it was like 8 of them, but there's only 3 that are going towards you guys. One of them is in the hallway with you guys, and the other 2 went different ways. So we don't know about the other 2 yet.
Oh, good.
She says, "Oh, good."
I am going to I'm gonna smile at this werewolf, and immediately it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, I think he fell. He got an 8.
So immediately, this gruff laughter erupts from this werewolf's throat, and you just see this thing just like fall down, and it is prone and incapacitated, and it is unable to stand up for 1 minute.
Gotcha. Okay, it's the bear's turn.
Would that give advantage on attack rolls?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Really quick, using my knowledge of nature and being in the wilderness, based on my knowledge of, like, if I have any knowledge of wolves and werewolves in general, devise whether or not the alpha werewolf would have any effect on this pack, like on a nature check.
Yeah, roll me one.
Natural 20.
Well, let's say you from your tribe or maybe like a druid you met before, you find out that if the alpha was near them, they would pretty much fight until death. They would pretty much go kamikaze. They would be stronger because they're fighting for him. But what you can see at the moment, the alpha's not around. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still vicious, but not as vicious.
If we killed the alpha, would that cause the rest of the pack to disperse?
More than likely, either that or they would disperse, but they would probably end up, whoever's lower in, in charge under him would probably be the new alpha.
Gotcha. All right. I'll just yell, "Find the alpha! Take him out!" And then I'll rage, and then I'll just run up to this werewolf in front of us and just butt him in the face with my shotgun, and then just quickly, and that's my bonus action, and then as my main action, I'll just turn and just fire right in his face.
Okay. You want to roll for them? I mean, for a time?
So this will be the butt of the rifle. That's a 22 to hit. He will take he'll take 12 damage from the hit, and then this is the gun firing in his face. Okay, that is a 24. So it's 2d8 if I play from your gun descriptions.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So that's a total of 18 damage. These are with silver shell bullets. Silver shells, excuse me.
All right, so pretty much you hit him and then you shoot him, and he looks hurt. But as you can tell, he kind of like, he's gripping the walls because this thing is freaking humongous, and he's just trying to get up. He just can't at the moment.
I see this and I realize how tough this guy is, and I just sort of look back to Caroline and say, "Caroline, if I die, it's been an honor. You're the only friend I ever had." And I just sort of block him, try to block this werewolf off from getting to the rest of my compatriots.
And Caroline would say, "And as your friend, I'm telling you to shut up. We're getting out of here." And she's just like concentrating on trying to continue the laughter of this werewolf.
I like Caroline's attitude.
Well, it would be the werewolf's turn, but I don't really think he can do anything. But right now it would be Clayton's turn, and he's going to try to throw a tomahawk at it. And he
at the end of the werewolf's turn, sorry, just quick interruption. Sorry. At the end of the werewolf's turn, he can make another wisdom saving throw, to try and get out of this fit. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
He just got an 18.
Well, okay. He comes out of it.
Gotcha. He's starting to get up, and you see Clayton grab one of his tomahawks and throw it at it. And he hit him in the face, but it just bounces off his face. Like he hit him in like a wrong angle or something. He kind of like freaks out. He's like, "Oh shit!" And is back to Wycliffe.
I'm going to spend my round emptying my repeating rifle of the normal ammo and loading 6 rounds of the silver rounds into it.
Gotcha. You can load it up. Wait, are you using a repeater or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would say that with your action, you can reload, and then if you want to use the bonus action to attack it.
Well, I use my action surge last turn, so I wouldn't have a second attack.
I gotcha. Okay, well, you're sitting there like reloading, and it's now Caroline's turn.
Yeah, Caroline is going to take out her little banjo thing and begin to play it in this weird, very non-melodic tune. And this thing has to make a Constitution saving throw.
You got a 16.
Okay. So that does nothing. So that's my turn.
Sorry. Mr. Bear's turn.
The bear just like straight up. Okay. And he just like shoves the double barrel right under this werewolf's chin. Like if it's trying to, I imagine it's trying to like just try to bite at him, and he just shoves it right in under its chin, causing it to close its mouth. And he just says, "Shut up!" And
Gotcha. Do you want to roll for damage?
well, that was a 22 on the point blank.
Oh, that definitely hits.
If it's point blank, do you want me to roll with disadvantage?
I would say if he was swinging at you, yes, but since he was just getting up from being hit with the spell, I wouldn't say disadvantage.
All right. Okay. So that's 20 points of shotgun to the face damage. Is he still up?
He's still up, but he looks really injured though. Is that it for your turn, or are you gonna move away, or what are you gonna do?
The bear just shakes his head and just goes. He just says, "Good God!" And he just tosses his shotgun out of the way. And as a bonus action, I just whip out my my axe. And I just try to just slam it into this big furry menace.
Gotcha. But when you shot him, like his face on the side, it looks fucked up. Like some of the buckshot is stuck in his face. His mouth is like ripped open, so his bite is like more wider now.
He's like, "Oh, that looks bad. Let me take care of that for you." And he goes to hit. An 18 to hit.
Gotcha. So he whimpers and falls down for a second, but he's getting back up.
Damage yet? Oh, okay. Damage. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. It's just you can tell he's really hurt now.
Okay. Great.
Were you attacking again or no?
I did it. I attacked it for 12 damage with my axe, but
I gotcha.
it's still up.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Gotcha.
I'm done.
So pretty much it's his turn. He's gonna swing at you. He got multi attack, so he's gonna swing at you and then he's gonna try to bite you. The 17 hit.
What was that? 17?
17, yeah.
Yeah, that hits. My AC is 18. Excuse me, 16.
Alright, so for the first hit, he's gonna hit you for 8. So he pretty much like scratches your chest. And then he's gonna try to bite you now. I'm really sorry, he just got a crit.
Okay. How much?
Alright, so it would be 22, but when he goes to launch to bite at you, Clayton just right in front of him and tries to like grab his head so he won't hit you. And as that happens, he bites him in the arm and he pretty much like starts like shaking him and he throws him to the side. And you just see Clayton against the wall with his arm just mangled. It looked like his arm is like ready to fall off. And it's Whitecliff's turn.
So I didn't take that damage?
Nah, Clayton jumped right in front of you to take it for you.
Oh. He really shouldn't have. I have resistance to all damage. Except psychic. Oh no, poor guy.
All right. As the werewolf is shaking Clayton around, I'm gonna take aim and squeeze off a shot with a silver round. That is an at 20.
All right. Well, he pretty much he's about to die. So how you want to do this?
Well, I guess I take a breath and wait for the perfect moment. And as the wolf slings his head one way, I see a shot straight into the side of the skull, and I squeeze it off. Striking it just drops him like a sack of potatoes. Hits the ground and is not moving.
Gotcha. So pretty much your bullet like goes through his head and he just falls. And then after you watch him for a little while, you start seeing that he starts changing back to normal, and you just see the elf with like a big bullet through his head, and part of his brain is sticking out.
I would approach Clayton and see him on the ground there. How bad does he look?
He looks pretty bad. And as he's looking at you, he pulls out this short, like, silver sword, and he hands it to you, and he's like, please, take it off before I turn into one of those things. Like, he can pretty much feel the poison, like, going up his arm, which, even though his arm's, like, mangled.
I would kneel down and I'd take the silver short sword, or right above his heart, and look at Clayton one last time and say, you know I gotta, and then just put all my weight and just flat straight through the heart.
All right, so as this happens, he's just looking at you, smiling, and he goes like, "Thank you," and he's against the wall, and his eyes slowly start closing.
The bear kind of just stares in shock for a second, and then it's just like, let's go, and just sort of starts booking it down the hallway.
I would remove an amulet that that all the Silver Spurs carry. I'd remove it off his neck to return to the leadership once we get done with this particular endeavor.
I got you. So you guys are running back the way you came from, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So pretty much as you guys are running and you're about to see the entrance, well, you know, the end of the hall to come in, one of the werewolves appears right in front of you, and then all of a sudden you hear pounding on top of you, like one of them is just pounding on top of the hallway, trying to break through.
I whip out my axes and just charge this guy, and I just want to barrel into him, both axes just right at his neck.
Gotcha. You want to roll for it?
Natural 20 on the first hit.
Nice.
And offhand attack is an 18. So, pretty good. All right. Let's do this. It was max damage and then plus a roll on top of that. Was your crit?
I think that's what Megan did, right? Yeah.
Right. That is 21 damage on the first hit.
Jesus.
And 12 damage on the second hit.
So what's the total?
Oh, good. 33 damage.
All right, and do you guys want to roll for initiative? All right, so it's your turn again.
Well, like my grandmother always said, wash, rinse, and repeat. So I will do so. Dak? Would you believe me if I said I rolled another natural 20?
Sure, I believe it.
I mean... Alright.
Listen, I believe you, man.
Alright. Second attack. A 19. A natural 19. Okay, so that's good tonight. Thank you, dice. So that'll be a 25 to hit. Okay. Second hit. So that's in total. That's another 30 damage as I just start hacking into this thing like a giant piece of meat.
Gotcha. The werewolf falls like on one knee, but it's getting back up. But you can tell it's hurt though. And then
Yeah,
it's the werewolf's turn. Are you gonna stay where
Just
you're
going
at?
Paul
or-
Bunyan on this thing. Yeah, I'm taking him on. I'm going Paul Bunyan on this thing. I'm just chopping him down.
All right. Well, the werewolf's right in front of you, so it's gonna attack you. All right. So the first one was a 15. The other one was a 18.
The second one will hit.
All right. So he's gonna bite your ass. 1 second.
Don't get bit too hard. I still got that short sword.
For me, you hear me?
All right. You're gonna take 12 damage.
All right. Reduced to 6. Do I have to make a con save?
No, he's not. Pretty much, if they want to like turn somebody, they would release like the venom in their teeth. So he's just straight up trying to kill you.
Ah, okay. For him? I'm offended.
And it's Wycliffe's turn.
If I could rage harder, I would.
Let's see here. What is this? Okay, I'm going to spend a point of grit from this gunslinger archetype to gain advantage on this attack roll.
All right.
I'm going to try to squeeze off another silver bullet round. That is a 16.
That's their attack roll?
Mhm.
Okay. Second. Yeah, that hits.
With silver?
Is that the attack or the damage?
No, this is the attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So that's 6. And you add 5 for the silver?
Yes, sir.
So that's 11 damage.
So you pretty much shoot it and you like hit it in the knee or something, and it kind of like trips and falls down, and it's just like growling at you, and it's having a problem getting up.
Okay. That would be my turn.
Gotcha. Caroline.
Caroline is gonna put away her banjo thing, just muttering, "Stupid musical instrument." She just takes out her revolver and just walks right up to the thing and tries to shoot it point blank.
Roll for damage. a bad attack.
Does a 13 hit?
Sadly, no.
She's not going to go and shoot it point blank.
Is there anything else you can do, or?
Nope. She's just angry, so she's gonna stay there.
Gotcha. I believe it's the bear's turn right now.
I go, no, 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 you do it like this. And I just raise my axe and just go down on him again.
All right.
Will a 17 hit?
Yep, his armor class is 16, so you just hit him. And since he's almost dead, tell me how you get him.
I imagine that the bear was just trying to do this as an example and as sort of like a camaraderie joking way, but like he doesn't realize how much strength he just puts behind his swing. And I imagine he just like straight up like chops the wolf's head right where the neck, right where the skull meets the spine. It just causes it to like slump forward and just like if not cleanly just fall off, then just be hanging just like right there. And the bear kind of goes, oh, just sort of surprised, not knowing his own strength.
Caroline would just like show off.
So pretty much you do this, and like the neck falls right underneath his body, and as it's changing, you just see the head right down here, lumping on top of the head. And can you guys give me a dexterity check real quick? Alrighty, so pretty much the other werewolf who's on top of you guys on the this hallway, he just matches the top of it, and pretty much Caroline and the bear, they move out of the way, but Whitecliff just gets hit by all these rocks. You take 8 damage, and as he's coming down, he pretty much falls right on top of you. And roll initiative. So you got this big werewolf on top of you.
Roll initiative again, or keep the initiative we had?
What was the initiative you guys had? Because I don't remember.
It's me, werewolf, Wycliffe, and then Caroline.
No, I'm just trying to figure out the number because you got to do some numbers. So.
Oh, okay, we can roll again. It's no biggie.
All right.
Well, shit. My excuse is rocks.
Yeah, he had a 24 total. All right, so he's on top of you, and he just starts like swinging at you. All right, one second. Does a 12 or a 10 hit?
On me? No. My AC is 14.
Gotcha. So pretty much he's trying to hit you, but you got all these rocks on you, so he hits the rocks, and when he try to bite your head off, you pretty much move out of the way, so he just hits the floor.
I'm screaming at the other two to get this thing the hell off of me.
And it's Caroline's turn.
Yeah, she's gonna look at this thing and try to shoot at it again. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Yes. So, excuse me. Okay, so I do 4 points of piercing damage, and I do 7 points of psychic damage.
So 4 plus 7?
Yes.
All right. So he takes the hits, but he looks like unfazed. And this werewolf, you can tell he's like a lot tougher than the last ones. Like he's a lot taller. His muscle tone is just bigger. Like he's massive. Like he's pretty much like almost the size of the hallway. And whose turn is it now? It's the bear's turn.
Naturally seeing this giant werewolf just attack Wycliffe, I'm gonna recklessly attack this guy. So this will give him advantage on attacking me. This too, but it also gives me advantage on attacking him. Another natural 20. I can't make this shit up.
Jesus. All right.
Your axes are being guided by Odin tonight, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, good God. I'm like frickin' Ragnar over here. Second attack, bonus action. A 16?
That hits.
Yes, alright. That is 36 damage. Just whack, whack.
Gotcha. So you start hitting him, he's going back, and now his full attention is towards you. Like he's fucking pissed. Like he just let out like a big howl that you can hear for like miles. He starts growling at you like he's just ready to pounce on you. And it's Wycliffe's turn.
Yikes.
Is this guy off of me now, the werewolf? Or am I still tangled up?
Pretty much like he got off of you, and remember when he went to hit you, he hit the rock, so you pretty much can get up, but you're like right next to him, so but he got his full attention on the bear.
So I can use a movement to roll. And then attack.
You can get up if you want, but yeah, if you want to roll, you can go ahead. Like movement wise, you can do whatever you want.
But it'll be really awesome to like roll and like take a prone shot with my rifle.
Go right ahead.
That seems pretty badass.
I think if you roll and you're prone, I'll give you advantage on the shot because that's pretty neat, especially since you got a rifle. So.
All right. 20.
You guys suck.
All right. So it's automatic 20. And
Don't forget you got silver bullets now.
Yep. So it's 20, 32, 37 points of damage.
You know what's messed up? I was gonna give this guys like a lot of more health, but then I think it was gonna be too much. But you guys are like killing them left and right.
It's the way it always goes, man. You think something's gonna put in a decent challenge, then in comes the player characters and just wreck its face.
So pretty much you like
I just
shoot him in the back, and he just like falls down for a second, but he's getting back up. Let's go ahead, man. What were you gonna say?
Me?
The bear?
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's both players and their dumb luck that just destroys your boss monsters. I can speak from experience.
I gotcha.
Anyway,
Alright, so it's his turn and he's gonna attack the bear.
speaking of shit, he gets advantage on all of his attacks.
So the first one was a 16. The second one was a 19. Does that hit?
We didn't hear you.
Alright, so
They both hit.
okay, so it's 18 damage total. He pretty much swipes at you and then he bites you like right by your neck. He just takes a big bite.
Right?
Nah. Like I said, he just wants to kill you. He don't care about turning you. He just wants to, yeah. Like you hit him hard, so he's gonna try to hit you back hard.
Yeah, well, he succeeded, but not as well as he thinks. But yeah, I'm not looking too good.
Gotcha. And it's wait, you just attacked, right? Did I skip you by accident, Caroline?
I don't think so. Because
Okay.
I think it's me next, isn't it? After the werewolf?
Oh, because from what I see, there's it's the bear. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. How far away is the bear from me? We're like right next to each other, right?
Yeah, you're right behind the bear.
Okay. She would kind of like slap him on the back. You're looking a little winded there. Essentially casting Cure Wounds. Healing. Math. 13 points.
Nice.
HP.
Thank you. She says, "You're looking a little winded there." I just turn back to you with this werewolf biting into my neck, and I just be like, "Ah!" You just heal me up, and I go, "Ah, thanks." Bulge out.
All right, and
Thank you so much for that mental image.
so I believe it's the bear's turn, right?
He just told you what he was doing. He was like, ah!
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he just wants to sit there and like scream.
Like going, "Ah," and I just turn back, and I just like, as he's biting into me, I just have my axe over my head. I'm just like, I just keep hitting him. Reckless, giving him advantage. All right, a 17. So on the first hit, and on the second hit. I crit. I keep critting. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't like you now, but roll damage.
I'm sorry. I don't know why the dice are being good to me tonight. That's 33 damage.
All right, so you pretty much like hit him, and you hit him so hard that he pretty much trips and just falls face flat on the ground, and he just can't get up. Like he's still alive, but he can't get up. And it's Wycliffe's turn.
I'm sorry, what was that?
He hit the werewolf and it like collapsed to the ground. Like he tripped, fell down, and he can't get up. He's like really badly hurt.
Okay. And is it my shot now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna stand up and fire off one more round, hopefully killing this thing.
You can
That's
take
a miss.
advantage because it's on the floor.
That's much better. That's a 17 on the dice. So. That is going to be 15 damage.
Oh yeah. So how do you do this?
Oh, yeah, I was on the ground and I had squeezed off the one. This one I kind of bring up at the knee position and shoot him when he's down on the ground, finishing him off.
Gotcha. So you pretty much shoot this werewolf while he's on the ground trying to like get up and move. And he just like as he's dying, you just seen him turn back into this like 7 foot tall elf. But you guys pretty much got rid of all the werewolves that went after you. But I know this is really unprofessional, but can I be right back, real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll be right back. It won't be long.
Well, that was fun.
All the 20s.
Yeah, I'm seriously like, I think I've rolled like 5 now. Reckless
Lucky
attack.
dice.
Dice, good dice. You can't see it, but I'm petting my dice.
I'm petting this kitty. He won't leave me alone.
Oh. See, I'm lucky because like my cats like Connor better when he's downstairs playing his game. So I am like I'm so free. Like no cat is bugging me. It's such a great feeling.
He knows every time I sit down and play because he has to be on my lap and trying to capture all my attentions. Aren't you, Mr. Mo? Yeah.
Adds an extra layer of, chaotic fun to your game when your cat tries to eat your dice as you're rolling.
Oh, yeah. Are you rolling
Yep.
and it tries to paw it out off the desk for you?
Yeah, sorry about that. My roommate forgot his keys, so I had to open the door for him.
Yeah, no worries.
worries.
But yeah, pretty much you guys defeated the werewolves, and you see just 3 dead bodies of like these elves that you just never seen before. Like they just, I mean, they were eating people, so you guys know that they're crazy. But pretty much after all the ruckus going on and everything, you can hear from a really far distance, like women yelling, "Help! Help! Help!"
Perception check, try to locate where they are.
Yes.
That's an 8 for me. I don't notice much.
That's a 24.
Oh, that's good enough. Pretty much it's coming from the area where they were doing the sacrifices. So do you guys want to head that way or what?
Yes.
Is the body that we just killed, is this the elf, the leader?
No, pretty much what happened was when the alpha started howling and everybody turned, he sent 3 of the guys after you guys. I think this guy pretty much was the one under him. So you guys pretty much killed the competition.
All right. Let's go.
All right, so you guys go back to where the sacrifice was, and you guys just see like this bloody table where they plucked the heart out of this body. Who you can tell they took chunks out of it, and on the floor you see bones and pieces of flesh and stuff. And then on the room right next to that, you start hearing the women calling for help again.
Caroline would say, we don't know what kind of trap this could be.
I'll just tell you guys, it's not a trap. It's remember you guys were going there to rescue people. Pretty much, the women. There was like about 8 women that were missing and like 4 guys. They pretty much ate the guys, so the women's are in that room from what you can see so far.
I'm not sure who was more unfortunate.
But anyways, what you guys want to do? Like, are you guys gonna head in, and who's gonna head in first, and what's going on?
I definitely head in, and I try to find the weakest prisoner who needs the most attention.
All right, so you walk in and you see all the women right next to each other. They got blindfolds, they got chains on, and they look like they're pregnant. They look like they're about 3 to 4 months pregnant, but the weird thing is they've only been missing for about a week.
This, and I just like look up towards Caroline, and I go, "Magic, do you have any idea what this means?"
And you can just see this like look of like fear and like, oh no. Can I make like a insight check?
Absolutely.
Or like just like, yeah. I'm gonna see if I know what's.
Whichever is like you got more proficiency in, go with that.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I know what's up. Ooh, I do. I got a 22.
All right, so from what you can see, what kind of check do you do?
I did just like an insight check just to see if I can kind of connect the dots. Pregnant women.
So pretty much
class.
They were not missing for that long, and you could, if it was only 1 or 2 women that were pregnant, you could tell that it was like somebody's wife who got pregnant. But you probably getting the feeling that the werewolves were the ones that they pretty much took them captive so that way they could like procreate. And these women like smell weird, like they smell kind of like I don't know, however a werewolf would smell like. But they're over here calling out for help. From what you can see, they got blood on them where they got bit, but yeah, they're pregnant and they're asking for help. So what do you guys want to do?
Caroline would actually look to the rest of them and just say, I think you know what this means.
No women or children. We'll take them back to the Spurs. It's out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not getting not getting blood on my hands.
Caroline, you think you could do for these women what you did for me? Dodge my wounds.
Wyclef is observing the reactions of these two and jotting down in mental notes like how they're handling this situation.
Gotcha. And while that was happening, like one of the women starts yelling, she's like, "Please don't hurt my baby!" And she don't know who the hell you guys are, so she thinks it's the elves, and she's like, "Get away from me! Please don't hurt me! Don't hurt my baby!"
Wyclef would step forward and kneel down and like kind of caress the back of her head and is like, "Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here." And start gathering all these ladies together. And,
all right. While you do that, can you make me a dexterity check real quick?
You've been waiting for this.
I planned out like all kinds of shit, but people are right. You guys were doing all kinds of shit that you didn't want with it, but still, I'm having fun.
19.
All right, so pretty much, this girl is like she's the sister of one of the other girls nearby, and she, when you put your hand on her, she can't see anything, but since they were bidding and they were turned, she can smell it. So she goes like, no, get away with her from her, like with this like weird voice, like like not about to turn, but like a grizzly voice. And she goes to hit you, but you manage to like grab her hand.
Okay. Yeah, I would grab her hand and probably to appear distasteful to the other two, twist it around behind her and stand her up and push her towards the others as we're gonna get all these people out of here.
And upon seeing this, Caroline would just kind of have this furrowed brow, and she kind of says slowly, she says, do you really think that the three of us could take these women back without us dying in the process?
I would look at her, eyes just steel, and reply, you're the one who said he didn't want blood on your hands.
I know, but... And then she's going to talk to you, but you can see that her mouth isn't moving, but you can still hear her voice in your head. And she says, I don't want to get... I said that when I didn't see that look in their eyes, that voice. We won't make it out of these woods, bringing them with us. You know it.
Is this just to him or to both of us?
Let me check. Sorry, bad spellcaster.
Just remember, if you guys want to try to talk to them, you can. They were just rattled because they've been kidnapped and all kinds of shit happened to them.
That's only one target.
Okay, so I didn't hear this, so I just sort of leaned down to one of the women, and I'm just like, hey, we're from the town. You're gonna be all right. We're gonna take you home. Do you want to be home?
She would tell you, yes, please don't hurt me.
No. I just look gruff. I'm all cuddles on the inside. Come on, let's get you out of here. And I just sort of start picking them up. And I just sort of look to my companions like, come on, help me out here. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're just staring at each other.
Yeah, and like Caroline would like look towards you, and probably you've like recognized this look before when she's like she has this just very like conflicted look on her face, like she's just having to make this horrible decision. And her eyes are darting like from you to the women to like to the ceiling.
Would I recognize what she's thinking, basically?
I think so. I think it's pretty
and
obvious.
As I see this, I just sort of stand tall and get steel and just go, Caroline, we ain't hurting nobody. We're gonna get them home. and I just sort of look at and I just sort of look at you, Cliff, and I just sort of raise my eyebrows at you, like.
Well, you heard the man, and start helping the women up. We're going to get these women back to town, and that'll be a job.
So you guys help them out, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much. You don't know what we've been through." And what do you guys want to do next?
We want to get the hell out of these ruins. I'm gonna try to bury if that's possible.
Bury who?
Clayton, the
Oh, Clayton.
guy that
Gotcha.
Wycliffe shanked.
Alright, so when you guys start making your way out of there, you start hearing howls again. And when you step out of the room, all you see is like a bunch of werewolves just come and they grab the bodies. And one of the bodies, his two werewolves pretty much just rip it in half, and they just run off into the woods with the dead bodies in their mouths. They just go along the woods, so you can't even chase them if you wanted to because they're running so fast.
If we're going to get, we got to get now.
Yeah, we got to tell the rest of the town before more of them come back.
And as you guys are seeing this, you see the last werewolf who's going through the woods, and it's the biggest one. You can tell this is the alpha, and he looks at you guys, and he just like put his hands out, and he does a big roar, and he just turns around and like leaps over the trees and starts running.
I just turn towards the guys and goes, "That means he's angry. Let's go."
And I think you would almost expect Caroline to make like a quick like quip or comeback, something about your intelligence growing or something like that. Have this like really blank stare, and it would just never leave the women. And as you were walking, she would just keep as much of a distance between you guys and the women as possible, always muttering something about like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some food," or "I'm gonna scout ahead," or something.
All right. So I imagine you guys are leaving the area now, right?
Oh yeah, we're
Yes.
trying to get back to town as quickly as we could possibly get.
I think it's fair to say we keep all the women. We had a wagon, right?
We did not bring it with us.
You guys have 4 horses though, and one person's missing.
How many women do we have?
8.
Oh shit. Okay, we can't really ride our horses far, so yeah.
Well, I
try
would
to-
say that you guys get out of there and you guys make it through, like, close to the spot that you guys were in at before, and it's dark now. So I don't know if you guys want to keep trying to go or if you guys want to, like, take a rest real quick.
I think we should keep going. We can't afford to be ambushed
Yeah, no, we gotta push through.
at night.
I gotcha. So pretty much you guys keep going. You guys get through the broken bridge that we're going before, and you guys just take it slowly. Morning is starting to rise, and you guys see the town now, and you're pretty much right in front of the town. So what do you guys want to do?
Wycliffe would ride into town, looking for the captain of the Silver Spurs and give a report of everything that's happened and the situation with these women.
Gotcha. Well, he's still at the bar. At the saloon because he rented a room there. So if you want to go in there, do you want to bring the women first, or do you want to go in by yourself?
Alone.
Is there an office in this town?
There is.
That's what everyone else is doing. The bear just immediately just starts corralling all the women to just get to the doctor.
Just letting you know, the doctor
very much like a very protective father.
The doctors in this now and age, if something's wrong with you, more than likely they're gonna hack a leg or an arm or this and that. But they do have some methods. But if he's just gonna check them out, then yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. They've been pretty malnourished, I assume, and they're not doing so well physically. So I just take them to the doctor.
I got you. And what about Caroline?
Carolyn would follow the bear with the women. Just make sure everything goes smoothly.
Gotcha. All right. So Wycliffe, he goes through the saloon. You guys go to the doctor. He goes in there, and Roxy's there. She's looking at him. She's kind of pissed, but then she just goes like, "Just tell your boss to pay for my door, and we'll be all right." And then she points to the room that that he's staying in.
Yeah, I mean, I would give a full detail on what happened, why we were out there, what happened to Clayton, the werewolves that we saw, and the situation with the women, and the reaction of the two hired guns.
I gotcha. So he would like grab your arm, and he's like, "Are you fucking joking? Elves? We haven't seen elves in centuries, and and you're saying they don't even look like the way we know they look?"
Just telling you what I seen.
I gotcha. And then he would look at you, and so nobody hears in case anybody's watching. He would get right next to your ear, and he's like, "And you're telling me these women are pregnant with werewolves or their turn, and you didn't do anything about this?"
Kind of hard to take care of the situation when it's just me. But now,
go ahead.
But now we got them over here in town in a single building. Captain.
Gotcha. So he would look at you and understanding everything that's going on. He's like, "Okay, look, I understand about your companions. I understand the whole situation. We're gonna have people look into this because it's been almost 100 years since we've seen any elves, and these elves seem like they're savages. So we'll take the women. We'll take care of them and see if we can try to help them manage this curse that they're doing. But if things get out of hand, you know what we're gonna have to do." Understood?
Yeah, I've got my back to him, looking at the door on my way out. I'll stop. I always have, and then walk out.
I gotcha. And he would nut at you real quick, and he would be like, "Get the rest of your team and bring them over here, please."
Yeah, I would head over to the doctor's office.
All right, so you walk out of there and you start heading towards the doctor, and then you see these two talking to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "What's going on in here?" And then he's like thanking them for bringing back the women that were missing, one of them being his wife.
Hopefully, the one that didn't try to hit me.
No, he would say she's a gentle, so.
Yeah, real gentle scratches at the scars.
So, anyways, what exactly are you guys telling the doctor? Because he's not paying attention. He's like hugging his wife and kissing her, and he noticed that her stomach's big, and he's just like, he's so happy that he just doesn't really care. But at the same time, you see tears of like joy plus shock. It's just he doesn't understand what's going on right now.
Yeah, and Caroline would just like shake her head and just mutter. She's like, "This is what I was afraid of."
Doc, I realize the moment is very heartwarming for us all, but I think these people need medicine and food.
Wycliffe would speak up, saying, "You just let them tend to that. Captain wants to see you."
All right, so pretty much the doctor, he sits them down. They're cooperating because he knows who he is, and they come down. But you see him try to stick a needle in one of the girl's arms. The veins are trying to, hydrate him. And when he tries to stick the needle, it just like breaks. And from what you can see, they don't really look like they're not, unnourished. Like, you're not sure what they ate, but pretty much since they're werewolves, when they eat stuff, it takes longer for it to break down and everything. So they don't look like they haven't eaten, but he can't get through any tools because their skin is tough, and when they first turn, they're a little bit stronger than a little while after. So.
All right, lead us onward to your captain.
Yeah, we would all leave the doctor's office and head to the saloon, as the private room, with the captain.
I gotcha. So you guys start making your way to the saloon, and the captain's out there, and there's like 6 birds with them. 2 of them being like these huge orcs. But the weird thing about these orcs is they don't look like any orc you've seen before. Like, this looks like an ogre mixed with an orc. It's just humongous, really big brute. And
sounds lovely.
Yeah, so the captain looks at you guys, and where are the women at?
They're in the doctor's office.
And he looks at you, he nods, and he's like, "Okay, my guys are gonna go over there, be sure they're right, and then they're gonna help them go to the capital so we can take better care of them." And he would look at you guys and be like, "You guys have any objections with that?"
Just don't hurt them. They didn't ask to become what they were.
Yeah, he looks at you guys and he goes like, "Look, since we understand what was going on and we're just baffled as you guys are, we're gonna take care of them. But you guys gotta know that at some point they are gonna turn, and if we can't control them, something might happen. So I just gotta let you know we'll do our best, but there's no guarantee."
The bear is just kind of sitting there, just kind of grimacing, as he's kind of in like a James Kirk feeling where it's just like, I don't believe in the no-win scenario. He keeps it to himself and just balls his fist very angrily and says, "You just do everything you can and don't half-ass it. I'll watch you."
Wycliffe is reloading both his repeating rifle with silver ammunition and loading the pistol that he got off the drow with the same silver.
Gotcha. So you're doing this. The captain's looking at you guys. The two huge guys. Which any of you guys want to make me like a insight check real quick? All right. So from what the bear notices, these guys are half orc, half ogres, and you heard stories of the North tundra and how orcs live there now, and they're a huge tribe, and they're just a mix of like, you got orcs, half orcs, ogres, goblins, hobgoblins. They pretty much banded together after the war where the humans were killing the other races, and now they control that whole region. So you guys are really surprised to see them down here, especially with the spurs. But these guys just pass by you guys, and they start heading towards the doctor's office, and the captain just looks at you guys and he goes like, "You guys did a really well job. It's too bad that we lost, a good person. But thank you for, what you have done. And we have a lot of work to do. If the elves are back and they're werewolves, like you guys say, then we have a big problem. We haven't seen them in like 80 to 100 years. And for them to come back and be that strong, then we got to prepare." And he would take bags out of his like pouch and throw it towards you three guys.
I would take the pouch that was thrown my way. I'd empty half of it into a pouch I've already got on my belt, and throw the other half over to Bear and look at him and say, "Use this to keep a clean conscience and just keep riding." I can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, I catch the gold and I just say, "Got it," and I put it away, and I just sort of look at Caroline just with this big, sad puppy eye look. She's the only buddy I got.
She kind of gives you just like a half smile. She kind of like slaps you on the shoulder. She said, "You did good. You did good. You made the right choice." And she just nods.
If we're lucky, found those drow.
Yeah. That'd be good.
I need a drink. How about you?
Oh, thank the ancestors, yes.
And I kind of look at the gold that Wycliffe threw at me. He's like, it a little bit, and it's just like, huh?
Yep, drinks on you. All right.
I salute
So-
Wycliffe. Nice.
The captain would look at you guys and he's like, "No, drinks are on me." And he would grab each of you by your hand like this. He's like, "I really appreciate everything you guys did, especially after you guys known that this was a really deadly mission. And all I want to know is, do you guys want to join? We take care of each other, so it's up to you guys."
I think at this point, Caroline would look to Bear.
Bear kind of just like looks to the side, and he's just like, "You don't want me to make the decision,
Maybe I'm feeling generous today.
Bear kind of like sort of awkwardly scuttles a bit, and he's just like, "Well, much good in my life before this. I have to say, it kind of feels nice. I say let's do it. But only if you're in with me, Caroline."
Yeah. You got yourself a deal, Captain. We're in.
He nods at you guys and he's like, welcome to Silver Spurs. And then he goes like this for you guys to go, in and get some drinks. And as he does that,
And,
you guys see the big, huge orcs like coming out. The women are following them. They don't have their shackles anymore. But then right after that, you hear screaming, and it's the doctor, and he comes out with a rifle. He's like, "Don't take my wife," and he starts shooting at them.
Why does it fall to Wycliffe? Wycliffe shoots the doctor.
Well, when you go to shoot the doctor, you notice that he shot one of the orcs in the back about 3 times, but the bullets didn't really do anything, and he just gets on his knees and he's crying. Do you still want to shoot him or no?
I've got the rifle at the ready. I have not pulled the trigger yet.
I gotcha. So the doctor's just sitting there, he's crying. The half orc, half ogre, he just kind of shake his head, but he just keeps going. He understands what the doctor's going through, but there's no way they can leave his wife in town. Even though they assured him that they will take care of them and that he can come visit, he's just overwhelmed by grief.
I walk over to the doctor and I sort of kneel down next to him, and I his back. Doesn't say anything, but I give him my namesake, and I give him a great bear hug for comfort.
I love it.
I see what you did there.
So pretty much, the captain says this, and he grabs all of you and tells you to go inside, and he's trying to console the doctor. And all I can say, guys, is welcome to Dark Horizons, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yay.
That was a hell of a first game, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Like I said, I planned this one for a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if there's anything you guys think I should work on, please let me know.
That was wonderful, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. You nailed the atmosphere pretty damn well, and I like what you're what you're shooting for with the setting. So I look forward to playing more.
Yeah, this
Thank you.
is a really cool universe.
I just felt bad because the thing is, like, I wasn't planning for him to kill the other guy. I was hoping for him to cut his arm off so that way the poison wouldn't reach him and he would turn. But I had a blast.
I would say a word of advice: don't plan for stuff like that because players will fuck it up royally for you.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, at first, the guys, I was going to put, like, a lot more HP on them, but I was like, wait, it's only 3 of you guys. Like, if it was 4 of you guys, I was going to make them tougher. But I'm just glad that, like, when the whole thing happened, you guys didn't try to go for the alpha, because if you guys would have went for the alpha, you guys would have died for sure. About
halfway through this session, I realized that Wycliffe is not a good dude. He's not a hero. So yeah, I mean, that seemed like the natural thing at the time. Just seeing Clayton get mangled and knowing what was about to happen.
Dude, you like Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I did.
His ass. You're like now I'm gonna be in charge.
Oh no! It wasn't malicious. It was a favor in Wycliffe's eyes.
So, what you guys thought about the elves?
Awesome.
Yeah, I dig the take on the elves.
I'll say this. A little thing for me. I listen to music whenever it just kind of helps me. And I was listening to some Red Dead Redemption going so awesome because like as like the whole doctor scene played out, literally like a sad song about letting go was playing over my headset. And so when I went down to hug the guy, I was really feeling it.
That's awesome, man. Like I was thinking about throwing like a whole track thing going on, but then at the same time, if I start listening to music, I didn't know if people who were watching would be able to listen. So like maybe I shouldn't do that because I want them to be able to hear. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And the elves, I was going for like a Hills Have Eyes, like pretty much like cannibal Indians who / ended up turning into werewolves. But the only reason they did all this was because, you know, like I'm pretty sure you guys read the PDF and humans were killing off every other races. So they had to do what they had to do to survive. And they ended up becoming crazy while doing it. So.
Yeah. Well done. I just might have to just steal that idea for if I ever run a Western game.
But there's definitely more to come. I'm glad you guys, enjoyed it, and that's not even half of it. Like, there's so much more than I'm planning on putting on there. But thank you.
Right on, man. Yeah, I definitely should for sure. This is a very cool setting.
Thanks to you guys for putting up with the bear shenanigans. I'm gonna be honest, I made him up like as this game was going along. So thanks for dealing with that.
You're not the only one, man.
There you go.
All right, but I'm about to get off the air real quick. All right, 1, 2, 3.